Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, animals, minerals and vegetables. Welcome to 101 Ideas for Minecraft Learners. It's a kind of a reboot. I have done this before many years ago, but I decided to start again, especially with the advent of Bedrock and all the kind of cool things you can do in Bedrock as well as your iPad, your kind of telephone, wherever you play Minecraft. That's what we're going to be doing. So in this episode, I want to kind of take inspiration from our book, Minecraft Life Hacks Lab for Kids, and I'm going to advertise the heck out of this book. So if you haven't got this book and you're thinking, I need some ideas about what we can do with Minecraft, it's something for learning, but also it's kind of like, it's about kind of emotional intelligence in this book. It kind of gives you loads and loads of really cool ideas for using Minecraft, both in the video game itself and also for sort of practical stuff. So we actually have like colouring in and things like that as well. Anyway, in this session we're going to be looking at creating your own skin, creating your identity within Minecraft itself, and we're going to be using a free bit of software called Blockbench. And here it is. I'm sort of in here already. Okay, so I'm going to show you how easy it is to create your own skin and have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to show you some of the tools that you can use to create really cool skins and how to import them into Minecraft itself on the PC. If you've got an iPad or kind of a mobile device of some sort, you'll be able to take this image and put it into your photos folder, and you'll be able to import them. If you're playing on a Switch, PlayStation or an Xbox, those are closed systems, so you're going to have to use the Minecraft Marketplace to kind of change your skin, unfortunately. But there you go, that's just the way it goes. You can, and I'll do another one. I'll do another one of these. These are 101 ideas for Minecraft learners, and I'm sure we're going to have loads of fun trying out different things. Remember, this is idea number 1. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to create a Minecraft skin, and I like to create Minecraft skins at a little bit higher resolution. So how do we start? Well, first of all, you have to download Blockbench. Okay, so I'm going to give the links in the description below, so have a look in there for the links for Blockbench. It's always updating, it's always doing really cool things, but this is one of the really cool things that I've discovered really just recently, really, that it's got its own skin generator. So once you've downloaded it, you might come up with a kind of a page like this, and you want to click that off that over here somewhere, and we're going to go File, and New, and down here it says Skin, Edit Player Skin and Entity Skins. So let's open that up. I'm going to discard that one that we've got already, and we get this little dialog box up here like this, and it says Skin Steve. Well, we've got all sorts of skins that we can kind of do, but we're going to just concentrate on Steve. You know, we could do a B, for instance. We're not going to do a B just yet. We're going to go for Steve. And resolution says 16 times. We're going to go to 32, okay? And then confirm. Boom. We've confirmed it. And we end up with this model here, slightly walking forward, but with a blue front and a yellow back and a white and a black top and bottom. Okay, now just to give us some orientation, on the left hand side we've got this UV, the texture that is wrapped around this model here, and down here we've got the actual texture here, and we've got a little kind of save icon, a little floppy disk icon here when we want to save it. Over on the right hand side we've got a range of palettes. You probably start off with a picker like this, but you've got a palette like that, okay, which gives you a kind of a range of kind of the palettes, the colours that are used within this kind of thing here. Or we can have a bit of both. I'm going to stick with picker for now. And then just down here we've got kind of the model. So each of these blocks, I mean, you'll probably start off in here like this, but each of these blocks in Paint, Edit, Start, no, don't do Start, Edit, Paint, we've got the head, and the head is composed of 2 elements, the head and the hat, if you like. Bink, there's the hat, and it goes over the head. Okay, it's exactly the same pixels, it's just slightly bigger. Okay, but that means we can get kind of really cool layers. You can turn all these on if you like. They've got a little eye over here, and we can show or disappear these elements. If you click on the delete button, you have now deleted your head. So press Control Z if you're on a PC to undo undo that. They're so close together, it's quite easy to. Or if you do it over here, like bink, and you're like, oh, where's it gone? Go up to edit and undo. Okay, you can easily undo that kind of thing up there. The next thing I want to show you is how we can start colouring this stuff in. Okay, so we've got some tools up here as well. We've got a paintbrush tool, a paint bucket tool, an eraser tool, a draw shape tool, a copy and paste tool, and a color picker. Okay, and then in the toolbar over here we've got a customize set, which we've got loads. It is a very powerful tool. We don't need to know any of that stuff just yet. Obviously you can make your own models in Blockbench, but we're going to concentrate in this episode on creating a Minecraft skin and importing it into Minecraft itself and how that works at the moment. Okay, all these things are subject to change as well, so I'll try and keep this as updated as possible. So let's start exploring the paintbrush tool. So the paintbrush tool, we've got three little numbers up here. We've got size, we've got opacity, and we've got softness. So normally there'll probably be that'll probably be 1, opacity will probably be 100, and softness will probably be 0. Okay, that's the default. That means we can kind of just draw a single line all around the kind of the different bits and pieces. To navigate around this space, obviously if I left click I draw. If I right click I can move it up and down, left and right. If I left click when I'm outside of the model, I can turn the model around. Okay, and if I right click either on the model or off the model, then I'm just sort of moving it left, right, up, down. Okay, so that's a kind of little bit of kind of navigation. You can sort of get used to that. And again, if you want to think, oh, how do I do underneath its and paint underneath its chin? Okay, so what you need to do is you need to make things disappear, like its body, like its maybe its right arm and its left arm. And because these things are grouped, the whole of that group disappears. But if you just want the outside or the inside to be shown, then you can kind of do that too. So let's just get rid of the left arm again, and now I can paint underneath the chin. Now I'm going to make a squiggly mess. Obviously you are going to be much more creative and kind of with kind of amazing ideas and stuff like that. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to get you started. So as we said, the paintbrush tool has got can just draw like that. But of course we've got a size, so we can actually make it quite big. Blub, 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 blub. Let's put all these back in. Okay. We can even make the opacity. Well, what is the opacity? Opacity is the see-throughness of something, how transparent it is. So I'm going to put it down to like 50%, grab a kind of vibrant pink color, and then just paint on there. And we can see that it's coloring over the top of things. Blob, blob. Okay, and the more layers we do, the more pink it gets as well. Blob, blob, blob. Okay, cool. That looks really kind of jazzy. It's the 1980s all over again. Okay, cool. So there we go. So we've got some of that. I might do a little bit of blue over here, kind of a blob, 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 blob. Oh no, you know, you're gonna get this kind of this kind of oh, that's not too bad. Quite designy. Okay. So there we go. We've kind of made the blobby kind of mess on the outside on our skin. So that is the paintbrush tool, where we've got size, we've got opacity, and we've got softness. And let's push the softness up to like 70% at least. Maybe push the size down a little bit and go on the back, because I haven't drawn on the back yet. And let's get a kind of a hot pink. Didn't like this hot pink over here. And I'm gonna. And you can see we've now got a soft-edged tool, which is quite cool. And we can kind of make a kind of almost like a blush kind of effect with it as well. So it's quite powerful. Look at that. And I'll just do a little bit of black, and I'm going to go down a couple of notches as well. Okay, so we've got kind of different ways of kind of creating. And I'm really sort of going jazz. If I were you, if you're kind of making this kind of as you want, then of course you might think, oh, you know what I want to do? I just want to kind of really be precise on one area, and then I want to copy that over. And we'll talk about copying and pasting in a little bit, because that actually can happen too. So I think we've covered most of the brush. So let's put my brush back to normal. The next thing is paint bucket. A paint bucket, as you might expect, we can kind of choose a color like a yellow, and we can splodge. That's a black yellow. We can splodge it in, and it kind of covers the entire face of one of these shapes. In this case, the head, or the outside of the head. But we've got tools for this as well. We've got an opacity tool, so we can kind of pull that down. So let's turn it into green, for example. And it kind of blends a little bit of the yellow and a little bit of the green together. But we've also got sub tools down here as well. We've got face, cube. So if we were to do a cube then, and I'm going to do it in kind of this sort of acidic green, it does the entire cube itself. But again, because we've got the opacity, and I'm going to really kind of push that right all the way down, boom, it does the entire, it kind of colors the whole thing. And you can kind of, you know, add on and add on and add on. It's an additive kind of process. The next one is connected colors. This is amazing. Watch this. So let's do a kind of a zingy orangey yellow. And also let's push the opacity right back up. So as you can see, any connected colors are changed completely, which is awesome. The next one is just colors in general. So for example, the blue in this one, all of the blue that is exactly the same color gets changed. Okay, it's such a powerful tool. So powerful, unbelievable. So there we go. So different things that you can do with the fill tool. The eraser tool, as you might expect, does exactly what it says on the tin. We've got, similar to the paintbrush thing, we've got size, so we can kind of make that size a little bit bigger. I'm just sort of 1, 2, 3, 4. Opacity again, and softness. Let's make this nice and soft, and then I'm just gonna start erasing. Okay. He's got a little helmet on. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay. And then a hole in the middle, and then some maybe kind of bits on the thing. So it's kind of got arm things on. And again, you might be doing this much more differently from me, much skilled than me. I'm doing really, really quick. If we just go into edit, you can kind of see what this might look like. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, cool. Back to paint. That is the eraser tool. The next one is draw shape. And again, we've got size and we've got opacity. And I've got maybe a color here as well. So I'm going to kind of draw some shapes. And they are squares. Okay. If I reduce my opacity, it does exactly what you expect. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Then the copy and paste tool. Now the copy and paste tool does not work on the model over here. It works on the texture. Oops. Over here, and you can kind of change the size of it. I'm grabbing this kind of invisible line down the side here and opening that up, and now I can do things like this. I can kind of copy, I can drag over this area here, which is the kind of the back of the model, I think, which is this bit here. So click and drag that, and then once I've selected it, it gives me some options. I can move it to the front of the chest, which is up here, and you can get used to this. I can flip it around. I can flip it upside down as well. I can rotate it if I wanted to. And then when I'm happy with that, I can then press paste. And then, as if by magic, I think we have to, it's probably not on the, it's underneath bit of the body. Yeah, so there it is. Which is awesome. Okay. So you'll get used to kind of like the top layers and the bottom layers. If you want to kind of think about what those layers are, you can always select things in here. And so if you select them over here on the right hand side, I can see that that body layer is this area here, and then the body is actually this layer here, and you can kind of start to kind of understand the mapping of the texture, the UV texture over here. Okay, so there we go. What else have we got? So back to paint, and we got a color picker. As you might expect, the color picker picks the color that you click on. Okay, so there's enough purple or kind of stuff like that. So you might have kind of painted and made a kind of a nice painted effect, and then you can kind of create that. Once you're happy with that, you can press the little save icon next to the texture over here, and I'm going to save mine into a folder and call it test originally, and then I'm going to go into Minecraft, and let's take you all the way back. So if you're in Minecraft, you can change your profile. So there's me, very blank faced, and click on profile. And then I want to edit and you've got all this stuff. You can kind of have a look at kind of featured items and featured skin packs and things like that, which is really interesting. But we want to kind of use the skin that we've just created. So I'm going to edit the character. And that gets a bit confusing. We've got kind of like 3 tabs. I want to go to owned. And in owned, we've got something that says import. So I'm going to click on import. And then we've got another message that says choose new skin. So I'm going to choose a new skin, and you're going to navigate to it on your computer, wherever you saved it to, and click on it and press open. And you got 2 choices. You've got the Alex thin-armed skin, and you've got the Steve thick-armed skin. So I'm going to go for Steve, and that's it. It says choose new skin again. So sometimes I press that and I think, oh, that's the wrong thing to do. But that's it. I've now changed my skin. I'm back to profile and resume game, so I can kind of just walk around. And now I'm a normal, ordinary Minecraft character, looking a bit weird, but having quite a lot of fun at the same time. I hope that has been inspired you, and I look forward to kind of, let me know kind of what skins you've been making and stuff like that. It'd be really interesting. It's a really powerful tool. Don't forget to check out on Amazon or wherever you buy books as well, Minecraft Life Hacks Lab for Kids. It's a really good book with lots of let me read you some stuff out. Lots of ideas and stuff like that. For example, we've got building blocks of connection, so looking at communication skills. We've got leadership and collaboration stuff in there. We've got problem solving, building self-confidence, mastering self-control, building cultural understanding, all sorts of really good stuff in there. So do check it out. Tell your friends to buy it as well. It will really help us at the moment, especially with everything that's going on around the world. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye!